What's going on, guys? Seth and Chevy here. We just watched episode 2 of season 2 of Jujutsu Kaisen. Hopefully you guys had a chance to check this out. Otherwise, you're in the wrong place because we're going to be going full spoilers ahead. So yeah, let's do a real quick recap. Chevy, what happened in this episode?
Yeah, so I mean, we left off last episode with Q showing up to collect the girl whose name I've already forgotten.
Rico?
Something like that.
Yeah, something.
They ultimately, we start this episode, they have failed. And what's his name? Ghetto. He has one of them pinned to a wall with a cursed spirit, and receives a picture from Gojo of the other one just knocked out behind him. So that anticlimactic fight out of the way, they are trying to figure out what to do with the girl now, and they're basically told to just do whatever she wants. And we're given a quick background moment with I think it's the maid, where she says, basically that she doesn't have any family, and they kind of go over like that she's not really going to have anything once she becomes one with Tengen.
Uzui. Yeah. Uzui Tengen, dude.
And so it basically comes off as like because Tengen is the one who said to do whatever she wants, kind of a sentimental thing to let her just live whatever bit of life she's going to have. She goes to school, even though they kind of protest that she shouldn't be doing it, and she insists. So she heads to school, and then we're given I can't remember anyone's names, but the sorcerer hunter dudes that's betting. What's that guy's name?
I don't remember, but he's the guy who's gambling.
Yeah, he and his the medium guy between him and his employer are discussing how he's going to get the job done to get rid of Gojo, and he basically says he's just going to send dudes at him to wear him down
for $30 million bounty.
And he throws a bounty on them to kind of send small fry at him for now, and they put a time limit on it so that it doesn't have time for like larger, more skilled sorcerers to come try to cash in on it. While they're going back to Gojo and Ghetto, they're kind of having a discussion, and Ghetto kind of mentions that he has curses, like keeping an eye on her, and if something goes wrong, he'll be able to know about it. And the moment he finishes, he tells Gojo he needs to get to the girl's side because 2 of his sentries have been exorcised. They rush to school, and they just immediately run into different people that are after the bounty as they split up to cover different directions to try to locate her a little faster. We get a fight between Ghetto and another, I think it's called a Shikikami user, basically someone who can summon cursed spirits. And this guy decides he's going to try to get in close because, summoners can't fight up close, and through a sequence of events finds out he's wrong and very easily gets taken out. And then Gojo runs into I think it's a church or a chapel or something like that, where they've decided to do the choir class and to pick up the girl. And we get a sequence of all the girls gushing over him, and we get a moment of him kind of stroking his ego and posing and showing off, for them. He, in the chaos of them arguing over if they should, who should be able to talk to him and stuff like that, he grabs the girl and runs, and they run into I'm getting it all mixed up now. it cuts to the maid who runs into this guy who's wearing like a paper bag on his head. And she fights him a bit, but then Geto shows up and pins him to the ground. And once he confirms that his target is in fact with Gojo, the body melts away, and then we're shown Gojo on the roof with the girl, and it's a bunch of these guys all of a sudden. It's explained at that point that he has a clone ability, and Gojo already knows what it is and starts explaining his ability, which I'm at a loss of like the exact details of it, but basically, controls infinity, as was mentioned in season 1, and he kind of goes about how it's easier for him to control in a smaller area, and anything in a large area becomes exhausting, as he simplifies it later.
He also said too that the closer something gets, the slower it becomes. Towards him.
Which is all was explained in season 1 as well.
Yeah.
So, he makes pretty light work of this guy and goes to use an ability he calls Red, but it fails, and he punches the guy instead. And then the episode ends on the girl pulling out her phone, and the maid has apparently been captured. So
apparently, it seems kind of weird.
Yeah, the timing's
convenient.
Really weird. Yeah. That's pretty much just the episode. What do we think?
I liked it. It was interesting. Better than the first episode, in my opinion, which was also cool. The episode starts off a little slow and kind of like, that they've defeated Q. There's even a quick little blip of them saying that the whole thing fell apart because of the leader. We hear the guy say that I think his name was Bear, is like this, like the leader of the group or whatever, and then it's just like Gojo beat him, and it's like we already knew that was gonna happen anyway. It would have been cool to see something on that, but I think it goes with the narrative that like more powerful people are worried about Gojo, so this leader guy is probably nothing. So there's a little bit of light humor there, but would have been cool to see something. So yeah, they're out of the picture, I guess. Even though later Geto's asking if that one guy is from Q, but. Or no, he says the religious group.
Yes, yeah, if it's one group or the other. And I think that blip
there's all these groups.
A saying in the future they disband because there's no leader now. So.
Yeah. But yeah, so the episode starts off with kind of a slower pace and kind of like exploring a little bit with the assassin dude talking with the person on the phone while he's gambling. He seems super chill. He's talking about as long as the girl's with Gojo, nobody's going to be able to get her. And then the guy even asks him, like, not even you, and he pauses or whatever. But then, he's got this plan where he's going to try and wear him out. It seems like even in season 1, people were trying to, through more sneaky means, trying to get at Gojo in creative ways, because I guess you just can't take him on.
Or at least separate him.
Yeah, exactly. So it's interesting to see even in this period. That's something people are worried about. So really interested to see where this goes. Also, I want to know his connection with what seems to be Megumi from season 1, because even when it showed him from the back, his hair kind of reminded me of him. And they got the same name and stuff. So that's interesting. We'll see where that goes. The humor with the girl in the school and the dynamic between Geto and Gojo was a lot of fun. The scene in the choir room was funny with Gojo going in and not only having a bunch of younger girls going crazy about him instantly, but him just instantly just going with it and posing and being a dork. And then the teacher sliding in with the phone number was pretty funny. I liked the animation the whole episode. This one definitely has the budget that Hell's Paradise didn't, or at least the effort. But the scene in the hallway with the would-be assassin guy showing up, having abilities, noticing Geto has abilities, being able to get behind Geto, but not quite powerful enough to do anything with that, because he is taken back to a past time with his dog, and the better of him is gotten when Geto beats the shit out of him, which was very well animated. No surprise, but it was definitely worth noting. Yeah, I kind of like the dynamic that even though it seems there's a lot going on in 2 episodes, it seems like this is kind of like at a really fast pace. I kind of like the scenario that they essentially have precious cargo that they're trying to protect while there's assassins just after her. It's an interesting storyline that I'm really interested in, mostly seeing a real threat show up to this, because so far we've had 2 episodes with them just kind of, bantering, getting to know some of the characters and the situation that's happening. We got a resolution to that situation basically already outside of the maid at the end of this episode, which we'll see where that's going, because it seems super convenient that just kind of happened out of nowhere. It's also cool to see that she could fight the maid. We don't know much about her outside of the little she said, and to see that scene where she fought the dude with the bag on his head was also well animated, but cool to see. But I'm waiting for some kind of real threat to come into play with the story that's happening right now, because it's fun, but I don't feel like the vessel is really in danger so far, because like that one guy said, she's with Gojo and nobody's gonna be able to beat him, and Geto seems to be pretty powerful as well, so which is interesting to see, because we already kind of got that gist in season 1 when we sneaking around. It's like, well, that guy's obviously not making a direct move because he's got this big plan. He's probably pretty powerful, but he's playing it low key. And then in the movie, we get a gist of him being pretty bold in terms of being upfront with his plans and what he wants to do. And so in this, it is kind of supporting that even back then he was good at what he does. He's had like twice now people mention that he's able to just manipulate curses on the fly. The guy was talking about, he didn't even need to what do you say, use something. He was just able to do it. Basically
there's no incantation or anything,
he can just manipulate them at will. So that's definitely a good thing to have. So yeah, good episode all around. I liked it. Definitely waiting for something to happen to kind of add some stakes to the situation, but it's a cool story so far, and definitely like the characters, and I just love Mappa's style when it comes to, obviously this came from something, but there's like a Mappa look that I really like. Hell's Paradise didn't quite have it, but Chainsaw Man and Jujutsu Kaisen definitely have like this cinematic look to them that I really like. I was even noticing it with the pacing and the just the discussion with the assassin dude, like while he's gambling wherever and hanging out. It was like angled and animated in a way that felt like it was like cinematic. So I really dug it. But yeah, cool episode. I liked it.
Yeah. I also enjoyed it. I like the time we're getting to kind of spend with past, or younger Gojo and Geto.
Even though Gojo's like not any different.
No, he definitely, they call him a big kid basically in the first season anyway. So like, that's just him.
He basically is taking on a tutor role mostly in season 1. That's the biggest difference in this. He just seems like he, is confident, knows what he's doing, but he's not really like teaching anybody much.
Yeah, well, and we keep getting all this connective tissue too that's making it to where like Gojo's relationship with his students is coming off very intentional feeling, especially because the main threat in this part of the season is I presume a relative of Megumi's. And he is Gojo's student. So, and then, what's her face? The money hungry one, Mei or something like that. Not Mei. That's not who I'm after. The Geto or whatever, being the kind of behind the scenes dude in the movie and in the first season as well. So it's interesting to see all these things that are all kind of connected in the past that we were kind of introduced to like in the middle point basically. when the show started. I'm enjoying that aspect. Not even just with the show, but also with the movie. They've done a really good job of kind of like throwing all this stuff to kind of give you something to chew on. The animation was great in multiple regards, not just the fighting, but even in the comedic moments. It was very animated, very like goofy and playful, and I really enjoy that about animation. And it was a lot of fun to watch, especially when they were all freaking out over Gojo, and then the teacher, sliding in with the phone number part. Very funny. Yeah. Speaking of the hallway scene and the incantation thing, it was, even when he entered the hallway, he had that talisman, and he was like starting his incantation like right off, the bat there. And it is funny that Geto can just be like, they're here. Like, so that school just has a bunch of crazy students apparently, because Gojo is Gojo. And then even like the new students, I mean, I can't remember her name, but the girl who has no curse energy, and she's just a badass apparently. So, yeah, I do agree with the pacing was a little slow in the beginning, but I think it also kind of gives us like a live-in quality a little bit in the beginning. Especially because I think this is only supposed to be 5 episodes. It might be the only chance they could do something like that, because I think they're going to have to kind of start progressing through the main plot points pretty rapidly for the next 3 episodes, so that we can get into the next part, which will be the remainder of the season. So,
well, we already have the next 3 episodes set up at this point. The guy's trying to wear Gojo down so he can get in there. The guy already on the phone asked him if he's going to be able to take him out or not. So I feel like there's going to be some kind of confrontation there. And then hopefully some kind of connective tissue and reveal on what his relationship with Megami is.
Well, I also think we're going to see whatever causes the turning point for Geto as well, because he obviously at some point decides that protecting people isn't as an important thing, and only sorcerers matter. So
yeah, it's just going to be really crazy to see that revealed within the next 3 episodes.
That's what I'm saying. They can't really dawdle much longer.
But it was also just revealed to us basically in a movie as well. So, it's only going to add to it.
2-hour movie, but yeah.
Sure. But that'd be like, 4 episodes. So.
Be closer to 6, but yeah. That's a commercial time intros and outros. But,
yeah, still not much.
Yeah. Anyways, looking forward to where it's going though. So.
Yeah. Definitely interested in seeing what they do with 5 episodes. Doesn't seem like much, but we already talked about this earlier before we even filmed this, that it makes sense they would only spend 5 episodes with this, because how much are you going to tell in a full season if you were to in a prequel? So we'll see where it goes and what happens. But yeah, anything else you want to say on it? All right, well, let us know in the comments what you guys think of episode 2 of Jujutsu Kaisen, episode 2 of season 2. What were the highlights? What did you take from it? What do you think about the fight scenes? What do you think about the choir scene? Where do you think things are going? Unless you've read the manga, please no spoilers, because we have not read it. We want to experience this as blind as possible. And yeah, let me know everything you're thinking about in the comments below when it comes to this episode. But I've been Seth. This has been Chevy. And we will talk to you guys on the next review. Stay tuned, and we'll talk to you later.